Hi, everybody. Hope you're keeping very well. I've just got a computer, a laptop on my desk here just beside me, and I was no audio was coming through, so it's working fine. I'm hearing my own voice now, so safely get this show on the road. I've been using this system called Restream for the last few months because Webinar Jam kept letting me down, technical hitches. Restream seems to be fantastic. I'm still getting to grips with it because I only use it once a month. And each time I set things up, I have to kind of remember what does what. I'm getting familiar with it. But it's very reliable, very good stream quality. Watching the replays, really good stream quality. So if this is your first time joining us today, welcome to the Secrets of Success Mentoring Program. We get together online once a month like this, and I share with you the success strategies, tools, and techniques predominantly that have been scientifically proved to work. A lot of people try and get ahead faster in life, improve their lives, transform their circumstances, and you can be trial and error, try this, try that, and I think these days everyone is the victim of the shiny object syndrome. Oh, maybe this will work, maybe that'll work. Oh, terrible. So the high performance and success strategies I teach every month have been proved to work. So if you want to transform your life, these are the things that matter the most. These are the big needle changers. I'm a real firm believer of minimum effort, maximum result. And that's everything I teach in the Secrets of Success. Blah, blah, blah. Everything I teach in the Secrets of Success is minimum effort, maximum result. I've spent years studying the world's most successful people. I've also created, bought, built, and sold 19 different businesses, all sorts of different niches or niches. And some of those businesses have made millions. So I do know a bit about what I'm talking about. And I'm also if you don't know who is this guy, I also have a couple of bestsellers. The most recent is the most powerful goal achievement system in the world. It's all about, as I say, achieving more easily with faster results. So today the topic, as you've probably seen, is it's master your physiology, master your life. And it's a fact that our body and our mind are inextricably linked. How we think affects our entire system. How we think, if we're a very pessimistic, negative thinker, it does have effects on our physical body. And people can make themselves very ill by thinking in certain ways. Likewise, if we give our body what it needs in terms of nutrition and health, it affects the way we think. So it's a two-way thing. So look at that in a lot of depth today, and I'm going to show you ways to, what we say, almost hack your physiology so that you have more brain power, more aliveness, more joy, more creativity. And as I say, these are things I'm not sort of dreaming them up or plucking them out of the air. These things really work. So in a few minutes, I'm going to walk over there in front of the main camera with my clicker, and I'm going to do the presentation from there. And look, if you're worried about taking lots of notes, you can hand if you want, but you don't have to, because if you stay right to the end, and this session will be about 1 hour long, at the end I'm going to give you a clickable link where you can download all the slides, a PDF document of all the slides that I've shared. So what are we going to learn? What are we going to cover today? First of all, a simple formula to dramatically improve your health, how to hack into and boost your body's energy system, what to eat and think to be more successful. Yes, how you eat and how you think has a massive effect on how successful you can be. And I'm going to share with you 7 questions that you can ask of yourself that can give you more energy. Well, you might think, how can ask questions give me more energy? Well, I assure you, questions are the starting point of all change, because they allow you to see where you're at right now and make adjustments. Okay, so 7 questions that can give you more energy. How postures, voice, gestures influence your success. How you carry yourself, your posture, the way you speak, whether you gesture or not. If you're like that and you're talking all monotone, I can guarantee it's affecting what you can achieve in life. But if you use your voice in certain ways, if you use your body in certain ways, it gives you more energy and enables you to connect with people much more potently, much more effectively. And that can help you achieve your goals much more quickly. Because I don't know of many goals that people have that do not involve other people. So this is really important. So how postures, voice, and gestures influence your success. And I'm also going to share with you a very simple meditation to combat stress and increase well-being. Really, within a couple of minutes, you can get really calm, really relaxed. Yet when you come out of that meditation, you have a lot more energy and focus, ready to take on the day. And also going to share with you a 5-point checklist to optimize and maintain your energy. And there, I'm going to suggest that there are a few things that you can do just by, you can spend a lot of time and effort, sort of trying this and trying that, or you can do just just a few little things that will make a huge difference. I'm going to share with you a 5-point checklist to optimize and maintain your energy. And the more energy you have, the more you can accomplish in a day with less stress, more vigor and vitality. Energy is everything. Energy is everything. How we think and what we eat and type of exercise that we take all affects our energy level. But we only get so much energy in a day. But what if we could use that in a different way? If we could use our energy in certain ways that literally we have massive forward momentum, and we can do that. So before we get started, I just want to see where people are at and the needs of the group today. So because then I can modify how I deliver and the way I say things that is most applicable to our group here. So first of all, I'm going to ask your fitness level and how you eat directly influence how you feel and what you can accomplish. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your physical health in the past 3 months? So if you're rating yourself quite low, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but if you feel you've had lots of really great, you've been in really great shape, you can give yourself a higher rating, 7, 8, 9, 10. So really, are you fit and eating high quality, wholesome foods? Or might you need to improve your overall health and fitness? Just want to see where people are at. I'm just going to look in the chat box. Yeah, there's a chat box there where you can show me you put your responses. Okay, here we go. A 5, a 8, a 6, a 4, 7, and 9. Excellent. Okay, lots of different numbers. Okay, lots of different numbers there. So in today's training, I'm going to help you to master, as I say, your physiology, so you feel better, so you have more energy, more clarity of mind, and this in turn gives you greater power to improve every area of your life. So that's the first question. Second question before we get started, also on a scale of 1 to 10, how effectively are you using your posture, your gestures, your voice to generate energy and influence others? If you feel, yeah, I'm really using the way I carry myself, my voice, my gestures, I display lots of energy, give yourself a high rating, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or if you feel that you have very poor posture, or if your voice isn't accurately conveying to the world the way you want to be perceived, give yourself a low rating. I'm looking at numbers coming in here. 5, 4, 7, another 7, 4, 9, 7. Numbers all over the scale. So that tells me a lot. So lots of so today, I'm going to help you to increase your energy. so you feel more optimistic, more positive, more alive, by becoming consciously aware of how you communicate with other people. Really important, really important. So, as I say before, I'm going to blank out this camera. I'm going to blank out the microphone. I'm going to walk over there and I'm going to do the presentation in front of the my big screen and clicker. So I have to take a few things off the screen before I do that. So let's first of all hide that. Let's get rid of the logo. Is it gone? It has. Magically. Great. And just bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. Hi everybody and welcome to this month's live training. And today the topic is master your physiology, master your life. And the fact is that the way our body works has massive effects on how our mind works. And how our mind works totally affects our actions and our results. So if we want to improve our life, we've got to look at some point how our body operates and whether we're giving our body what it needs to operate at peak efficiency. Because if you are trying to particularly achieve really big goals, it's something you've got to look at. It's really, really important. So what did we look at last month? Because every month new people are joining us. And last month we looked at the psychology of success. That was the title, the psychology of success. And we discovered that the life-changing power of positive thought and also the really destructive power of negative thought. And I gave a lot of personal examples of both positive thought and negative thought and how it affected my life and what I achieved. And also how to improve your self-worth and earning potential, because it's a fact. Our earning potential is dramatically affected by our self-worth. If we feel we're not worthy, if we denigrate ourselves, if we devalue ourselves, it directly impacts our ability to increase our wealth dramatically. And once again, I gave personal examples of that. And we looked at mind over matter experiments that literally prove that your dominant thoughts and emotions actually affect physical matter. Your mind affects your environment. Your environment is simply a reflection of your dominant thoughts and emotions. So if you missed last month, this is a topic that I feel will be of great interest to you, because, as I say, the psychology of success, it has been proved that success is not a result of necessarily hard work. Might be a lot of hard work involved, but it's predominantly based on how you think. If you want to be more successful, you study the lives of highly successful people and you will see that they think in a different way. Okay, so that was the topic of last month. We also looked at how to master your mind with minimal effort, because everything I teach every month in the Secrets of Success is about minimum effort, maximum result. The things that move the needle the most, the things that work. And much of what I share each month has been scientifically proved to work. No guesswork needed here. And we also looked at how to create a powerful success mindset on autopilot by engaging your subconscious mind. That changes everything. So that was last month. So today, what are we going to cover? Well, first of all, we're going to look at how to master your physiology, your body, so you can transform your life. A very important topic, and we'll discover that energy is actually a vitally important topic for success. If you want to achieve above average success, if you want to achieve bigger goals than most people, you do need more energy. And you can't have more energy if your body's not operating correctly. If you are very low in energy and your thinking is foggy, very little you can achieve. It slows up everything. We're also going to look at how the mind and the body influence each other, because they do very potently, and also the effects of food, exercise on the mind. And now I'm not going to ask you to do, make huge changes. No. Everything I teach each month is baby steps. But baby steps added up can amount to a giant leap forward. These are only small incremental changes that you can make that will have massive effects in your life. And we'll also look at 7 questions that can give you more energy. How can questions give you more energy? Well, you ask these questions of yourself, and they will help you to reevaluate certain things within your own life that will help you, well, have more energy. And also we're going to look at how postures, the way you carry yourself, how your voice and your gestures, the gestures that you make, influence your energy. If you're walking around like this all the time and you're not expressing yourself, it affects your energy. But if your posture, the way you carry yourself, massive effects on how much energy you can have. And this is really all about energy, how to have more energy, more physical energy, more brain power, so everything else becomes much easier. Okay, and we also look at the importance of meditation and how meditation can combat stress and increase well-being. And also I'm going to share with you a checklist, a simple checklist to optimize and maintain your energy. Very simple, but really effective. And also, why are these things even important? Well, first of all, you'll have more energy and brain power. You'll be able to increase your energy and your brain power. And your brain power is vital to success. Your ability to think with agility, speed of thought, connecting things, it's fundamental. If you find you suffer from brain fog a lot, it slows up everything. It slows up everything. And also, I show this will obviously what I'm teaching you today, it will affect not only your career, but also your relationships. Imagine having more energy, more vibrancy, more enthusiasm. That affects everything, not just career, but relationships and every aspect of your life. And it speeds up the achievement of your goals. You can achieve your goals with less effort. You can go ahead far more quickly, far more easily. Okay, so these are really important things. And also, ultimately, what I'm sharing in today's session will help you get anything you want in life more easily. Okay, so really important subjects we're going to cover today. Really important topic in your life. So first of all, look at the human body. This is according to oriental medicine from the Far East. And this is now being incorporated into Western medicine, this understanding. For example, literally every health insurance company in the world will cover you for acupuncture, for example, because it's been scientifically proved to work. It's been scientifically proved to be valid. So let's look at this a little bit. So according to Eastern medicine, Eastern science, there's a universal life force, you might say, within all things. And it's called chi or prana. And according to the Eastern traditions, all over the Far East, half the world literally, this chi or energy enters from our environment into 7 major points in the body, and they correspond to various different organs and the endocrine system. So basically it's like these swirling vortexes of energy. You can't see it with your physical eyes, but it can be these energy centers or these chakras can be detected. Okay, and this chi or prana literally flows around the body along literally rivers of energy, streams of energy, pathways known as meridians. And you might think, this is rubbish, this is trash, this is baloney. Oh no, it's not. It's been scientifically proved to work, or it's scientifically been proved to be valid. And I'll show you why in a moment. And if you go to an acupuncturist, for example, this isn't all about acupuncture, by the way. This is about the energy system that does exist and has been proved to exist. This energy, flow of energy, if certain parts of the body aren't receiving this life-giving energy, this prana, this chi or ki, depending on what part of the Far East you come from, if certain areas of the body are depleted, it can result in physical illness. But the acupuncturist's job is to move the energy into that area where it's depleted. So it's literally like putting in needles to redirect the flow of like water in the stream, and it works. So it can be manipulated at positions known as acupuncture points, specific places along these meridians. And these acupuncture points, they were actually scientifically, they were viewed first in a laboratory in the 1960s, and they were observed using Doppler sound and thermal imaging. So very sensitive thermal imaging equipment can actually show up these points in the body. So this is not airy-fairy new age trash. This is real stuff. And these acupuncture points are noticeably different from other parts of the body. And they have literally high density nerve bundles and trigger points. And as I said, disturbances in the flow of chi does cause physical problems. And would you believe that our thoughts can disrupt the flow of chi? You've heard this so many times, I'm sure, that your thoughts affect the way your body works. You know, if you have predominantly positive thoughts and emotions, people who have predominantly positive thoughts and emotions are generally a lot healthier than people who are very negative. So the mind affects the body, and the body actually affects the mind, as we will discover. So the way we think can have an effect on the way this life-giving energy flows around our body. Okay? And also food and exercise influence the flow of chi and also our health. What you eat affects the flow of chi and how much chi moves around the body. And basically what I'm saying here literally is our mind affects our body and our body affects our mind. They are inextricably linked. So how your body operates affects your mind. How your mind operates affects your body. Really important subject, this. And the fact is, our health and our brain power is, it's to have optimum health and optimum brain power, we need to look at our health and improve our health. So if we are finding it hard to achieve our goals, and we find that we don't have boundless energy, could be one of the reasons why. Very important topic. And when you optimize your health, well, you can be more successful in everything that you do. But if you don't look after your health, and you're very low in energy, and that affects your emotions as well, and you're very sluggish, very hard to achieve much each day. Very hard, a lot of people get very jealous of other people. They see what appears to be great things happening in their lives. But most people don't realize what that other person has done to make that possible. But no, there's no need to be jealous of anyone. We have the key to change our lives. We have the key to achieve anything we want in life. But we have got to pay attention to our health, our well-being, our brain power, our dominant thoughts and emotions. And we also need to learn how to use our subconscious mind in ways that absolutely speed up the achievement of our goals. But these are the things that we cover every single month because they're fundamentally important. So this is a guy called Edgar Cayce. He lived back 1877 to 1945. So he was a remarkable human being. I'm not going to go into his life. There have been countless books written about him. But he came up with this system of health called the CARE system, or the CARE, which stands for circulation, assimilation, relaxation, and elimination. So 4 components that we that we need to have it working properly, effectively, to have optimum health. So first of all, C for circulation. Without adequate exercise, even if you eat great quality food, the nutrients in your food may not be reaching the cells of the body where they are transformed into energy. So if your circulatory system isn't working properly, even if you eat great food, you may not have optimum health. The cells of the body may not be getting that nutrition. So circulation is really important, and your brain may not be receiving adequate nutrients and blood flow for optimal performance. So if your circulatory system, or your circulatory system, however you pronounce it, isn't working, that affects everything else. And without proper circulation, the body's ability to heal itself is also severely impaired. And your circulation must operate effectively for optimum health, energy, and brain power. So you need to look after your circulatory system, or whatever. Anyway, so that's circulation. Assimilation. Now, this is your body's ability to digest and distribute food. Okay? Even if you eat high quality, natural, unprocessed foods, there may be conditions that currently exist in your body that prevent your body from assimilating the food properly. So if you're not assimilating, doesn't matter what good food you're eating, it may not be fully used in the way it should be used to burn lots of energy, create lots of energy. And Edgar Casey, he suggested that our diet consists of 20% acid producing and 80% alkaline producing foods, as well as 8 glasses of water daily. Now, the water intake is dependent on your body weight. If your body weight is high, you need more water, because your body needs more water to carry the nutrients to the cells of the body, and also to take away toxins that build up in the cells. So you need water. Water is really important for carrying nutrients to the cells where they're needed, and for excreting toxins. Otherwise you get a build-up of toxins if you're not drinking enough water, and that causes all sorts of potentially chronic conditions. So if you are not getting nutrients effectively from your food, you will have less energy and vitality than you could have. This is fact. So that's assimilation. Circulation, assimilation. Next one is relaxation. So research has proved you need 7 to 9 hours sleep each night, and this is vital. This is vital if you wish to perform at a high level. If you want to be a high performer, you need that amount of sleep. Most high performers get plenty of sleep. In fact, over long periods of time, lack of sleep actually can create all sorts of serious health conditions. And I know several people who used to tell me, "Oh, I get 5 hours sleep a night and that's plenty." Oh no, it's not. And eventually I've been able to persuade some of them to gradually build up their sleep to between 7 and 9 hours, because science has proved, research has proved, that everyone needs between 7 and 9 hours sleep for our body to repair itself, for our body to heal itself. That's what goes on when we're asleep. Our body repairs itself, and our brain, our mind, balances itself. Okay, it's so important. And also relaxation, it's not just sleep. Relaxation also means having enough time for recuperation, so that your mind and body are both allowed to relax fully. If you're in a state of anxiety all the time, or stress, it has terrible effects on the body. That's been proved. In fact, stress has been shown to be the biggest killer today. Not directly, but all the physical conditions it can create in the body and the mind. So give yourself opportunities to de-stress and relax through recreational activities that you enjoy and help you unwind. That's important. We all need relaxation. This is what Ed Casey was saying 100 years ago. We need everyone needs time to relax. If you rob yourself of relaxation, it has long-term consequences, negative consequences. So that's circulation, assimilation, relaxation, and the next one, the final one, is elimination. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, your body is not eliminating, if your body is not eliminating the toxins that build up in it, then your health and your brain power will not operate at optimum efficiency. Fact. And it's important that all the cells of the body are receiving nutrients that can be converted into energy, as I said earlier. But it's also equally important that the cells are able to eliminate toxic wastes that are carried away from the cells effectively, like I said earlier. The way you do that is through adequate water. That's one of the critically important components. So if toxins build up in the cells and are not eliminated, then this can lead to all sorts of chronic health conditions. So the care system, C-A-R-E, circulation, assimilation, relaxation and elimination. You need to be focusing on all of those and giving your body what it needs in each of those 4 departments to have optimum health and brain power. And what is the effect of that? You can achieve your goals far more easily. You will be a lot more successful in life. So I think I've just given you enough evidence to show that your health affects everything. What you can achieve in life, actually your happiness level, and your fulfillment, and your ability to create the sort of life that you want. Vital. Okay, so this is really interesting, this next part. Body posture affects memory, recall, and mood. This was a study conducted by San Francisco State University some years ago. And the study investigated the effects of posture, in other words, sitting in a slouched or upright position, on the effect, on the recall of either negative or positive memories. So they wanted to see if different body postures affected one's ability to recall positive thoughts, memories, or negative memories. They found it absolutely did. Your body posture affects your mind in profound ways. So 216 college students sat in either a slouched or an erect position while recalling negative memories, and then in a second step recalling positive memories. Okay, 2 different body positions, 2 different types of memories. And then they sat in the opposite body position while recalling negative and positive memories. Okay, so what do they find? Pretty interesting. The results from the study was that 86% of the students reported that it was easier to recall negative memories in the collapsed or slouched position than in the erect position, and 87% of the students reported that it was easier to recall positive images in the erect position than in the collapsed position. Really important. So for those that were this is interesting, it's like people who are depressed were kind of locked into what would you say, a negative spiral of posture and emotion. But for those that were most depressed in the previous 2 years, there was no difference in recalling positive or negative memories in either positions. So when you're depressed, you can be literally locked into a mindset that's very powerfully negative in so many different ways. Very unpleasant. So very interesting, very, very interesting study, and basically the conclusion from this was that you should sit upright at work and at home a lot more as a strategy to increase positive effects and decrease the possibility of depression. So how you carry yourself most of the time has huge effects in your life, on how you feel, your ability to recall positive experiences. If you're collapsed like that all the time, slouched, you will recall a lot more negative experiences. But if you carry yourself in a very open, erect posture, the memories that will, pop into your mind mostly will be more positive, a lot more positive.
So your posture affects the recall of whatever flavour of memory you have. So your posture affects your mind, emotions, thoughts, actions and results. Really, really important. Really, really important. And we'll, you need to ask yourself this question. How do you carry your body most of the time? And it's amazing. Just by changing your posture, it will change how you feel. It will change your ability to recall positive rather than negative memories. Very powerful, very, very potent. So, high performance, what is this? Why? Because every month I talk about high performance, and literally, if you want to achieve greater things in your life, greater happiness, greater fulfillment, greater aliveness, greater joy, and greater success, you need to become a high performer. What is this? Oh, high performance, it sounds scary. It sounds like overwhelming and pressure. No, it's quite the opposite actually. High performance means excelling and succeeding above and beyond standard norms consistently over the long term. So it means excelling and succeeding more than most people do, consistently over the long term. So how do you do this? Is it willpower and self-discipline? No, it's not. Willpower and self-discipline can be a bit overrated, to be honest. You might think that the most successful people have such incredible willpower. A lot of them do. Or that they're incredibly self-disciplined. Most of them don't. Most of them are not highly self-disciplined. They have a few disciplines that carry them very, very far. Okay, so this is what high performance training is about. Those simple little habits you can install that have been scientifically proved to work, that have been scientifically proved to give people more happiness, enthusiasm, aliveness, and joy, and allow them to be more successful. These are the things that move the needle the most. So what are high performance habits? Well, high performance is not the same as peak performance. Peak performance, if you're an athlete, you need to get into a peak performance state, but you can't sustain it. This is about over the long term. It's the little things that you can do that carry you very far, that dramatically reduce stress, that can enable you to achieve more with less effort. That's the amazing thing. This is about the easy way, really, the easy way to be more successful and have more joy in your life. So who wouldn't want to learn these habits? I'm giving them to you for free every single month, and they've been scientifically proved to work. So high performers generally have greater success, fulfillment, aliveness and joy, and they're people who win back time because they learn simple ways to identify to themselves activities that waste time, waste energy, that don't give much fulfillment. And when you are aware of what they are and you can drop them, oh wow, you win back so much life. So high performers dramatically increase their productivity by working smart, not necessarily hard, and they take energization breaks every 60 to 90 minutes. Most people begin the day with presumably maximum energy, and as they go through the day they lose energy, they get tired, and you lose energy with every change of activity. But if you take a break, even if it's only 2 or 3 minutes, get up from your desk if you work at a desk, or if you don't work at a desk, just change it, walk outside or change environment just for 2 to 3 minutes. And that in of itself, when you go back to your work, you have more aliveness. But if you combine this with some light breathing exercises, maybe bouncing up and down on your toes, just moving your body, or a little bit of qigong or tapping, wow, it has an amazing effect. When you go back to your work 2 or 3 minutes later, you've replenished your energy. You feel different. It has a massive effect on how things go during the day. Okay, so, and high performers improve their health by reducing their stress and levels and burnout. And high performers have greater focus because they get things done a lot more easily. I need water. 1 second, I thought it was down there. To your very good health. I'm getting a little bit parched. Okay, so, and they, this is fact. A study was done, I think, in the US. I think it was the Department of Social Welfare, or I'm not sure what it's called in the US. It's Social Security. They discovered that by retirement age, 95% of people are virtually broke. They retire, and most people think about all these wonderful things they're going to do when they retire, and then they don't have the ability to do it because they don't have the financial resources. It's very sad, very, very, very sad. So by learning high performance techniques, you can be more successful than 95% of people. So I know that's a scary statistic, but Department of Social Security, I don't know when that they released these findings, but it's pretty sad actually, So don't be one of those 95% of people, because I'm sharing with you the things that enable you to jump into the 5% that live a really, really extraordinarily fulfilled lives. Okay, so that's what high performance is. So high performance energy questions, a recap, and we covered this a few months ago. Just a recap. By the way, Brendan Burchard is always saying that. Oh, but who's Brendan Burchard? He's this guy here, the founder of the High Performance Institute, that has done scientific studies into all this. And the High Performance Institute has found that highly successful people, high performers, do things in a different way. And he's brought to the world what those ways are that anyone can use. And when you start doing a few little high performance, or installing a few little high performance habits into your work day, your leisure life, wow, it changes everything. It changes how you feel and what you. It will enhance every area, every aspect of your life. So that's Brendan Burchard. That's myself. So high performance energy questions. A recap. Oh yeah. Brendan is always saying the power plant doesn't have energy; it generates it. You don't have energy. You are responsible for generating your own energy and how much energy you have. You don't just, have energy just from your food. No, as we've discovered, how much energy is dependent on, your dominant thoughts and emotions, the way you carry yourself, your posture, your health, all these things. You have massive control. So the power plant doesn't have energy, it generates it. How are you generating your energy? Do you have enough energy? If not, I'm showing you the ways to increase your energy. So, and how do you do this? Well, 7 questions coming up, I think it's 7, that you can ask yourself that'll help you reevaluate your own life and maybe make a few adjustments. Number 1, on a scale, oh, by the way, don't worry if you don't need to write all this down now, because I'm going to share with you a PDF of all the slides in today's live training session at the end of this broadcast. And you can download it and then look at these and fill out your answers for yourself. So, number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much physical and mental energy have you had in the past 3 months? Full of energy or not so full of energy? Why is that? Why is that? What's been affecting your energy? Think about a time in the past when your mental and physical energy were at their best. Why was that? So what was happening in your life at that time that was giving you a lot of energy? Was your outlook on life much more positive? Were you doing things? Very important to drill down to find the reasons why. And then you can use the reasons why. Okay, excuse me. In the areas of nutrition, exercise, wellness and sleep, what habits do you have that support your energy and health? Okay, Number 4, what routines do you have for recharging? Daily, weekly, monthly, yearly? And what would make you feel even more vibrant? Number 5, are there any areas of your life that are particularly stressful or draining energetically? If so, what do you do for stress management? I hope you don't say nothing. If you do, a lot of people will. You need to look at how you're going to manage stress in future. And we look have a few ways of doing this in a moment. Number 6, what would you take on if you had 3 times more energy? A lot of people don't take on new stuff that they want to take on simply because they don't have enough energy or time to do it. But what would you take on? What dream or project or goal would you start moving towards if you had 3 times more energy? Wow, that's a great question. And finally, number 7, if you became more committed to your optimal health, what would you immediately start doing and what would you immediately stop doing? If you're to become even, 100% committed to your health. These are questions, if you take the time, and I really suggest you do, 10, 15, 20 minutes of your time, my goodness, it could change, could be the best 10 or 15 minutes of this entire week, month, or even year. It could change everything. The power of questions. Questions are the starting points of massive positive change. So I would strongly encourage you to use this. So this is a gift to you, okay? So posture, voice, gestures and expressions affect your energy, as we've already seen. So science has proved that your posture, voice, gestures and facial expressions affect your thoughts, emotions, actions, and therefore your results. I'll say that again. Science has proved that your posture, voice, gestures and facial expressions affect your thoughts and your emotions, and therefore your actions, and therefore your results. So, number 1, what do you want your posture, voice, gestures and facial expressions to portray about you to the world? Because how you're showing up in the world is very much dependent on your postures, voice, gestures and facial expressions. If you want to show up in the world in a different way, you're going to have to start looking at changing your posture, changing the inflections in your voice, having more enthusiasm. These are really important things. Number 2, do you feel that is what is already being portrayed? Are you showing up in the world the way you want to be? If not, use these questions to make adjustments, okay? It doesn't have to be huge. Small shifts over time make huge improvements in life. Number 3, if not, what do you need to start doing with your posture, voice, gestures and expressions for the world to perceive you the way you want? Great opportunity for self-reflection here. And you know what? Self-reflection is the starting point of change and all major achievement. Okay, so finally, very important, what do you need to stop doing? What do you need to stop doing as regards posture, voice, gestures and facial expressions? What do you need to stop doing? Okay, what lazy habits? Could be you're slouched all the time. Okay, that's very common, especially when we're all working on computers. I don't have great posture. Got a posture corrector, like a backstrap thing that pulls my shoulders back. I forget to use the thing. But actually, no, as time goes by, more often I am pulling myself back because I'm more aware of it. But working in front of a computer, it's very easy to have not such great posture. We need to use things like posture correctors to help us move into a new posture if that's what's needed. Okay, so meditation, as I mentioned earlier, meditation is a very effective way of reducing stress, but it has so many more benefits. I've been meditating for, 35, 37 years, a long time, since 1985 4, whatever that is. My goodness, that nearly 38 years. Gosh, I'm getting old. Okay, meditation is practiced daily by millions of highly successful people, and the benefits of meditation, so many. Any form of meditation, some are better than others, but meditation is great. End of story. The benefits of meditation you'll be able to reduce stress and improve your cardiovascular health. Meditation increases your sense of well-being. It increases your sense of connectedness to others and empathy. It strengthens and improves your relationships. It improves your ability to focus. It helps you to make better decisions, boosts your creativity, helps people overcome addictions, enhances your immune system, helps you to achieve the flow state, reduces physical and emotional pain, and it enhances spiritual awareness. Why wouldn't anybody take up meditation with all these dramatic improvements in quality of life? Meditation is really important. And, so many people have said to me over the years, oh, I find I can't focus, I get distracted. Yeah, of course, everybody does. But there are very simple ways of meditating. You don't have to go into this deep trance where it's empty space. No. There's just the act of trying to meditate gives you all these benefits. Even if you don't get into the deep state you think would be most optimal, just the time out to meditate, even if it's only 10 minutes a day. So let's look at a very simple way of meditating. Brendan Burchard came up with this, and he calls it the release meditation. And if you want to see how it's done, it's very self-explanatory, but if you want to, just YouTube Brendan Burchard or release meditation. So it helps you to relax your body and mind and let go of stress, and you can do it really, really, really quickly. So first of all, step one is you sit in a comfortable position, obviously. You close your eyes and just become fully present, just aware of your body, your breathing. And take 10 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. 10 times, okay? Then after that, just sense your body and just focus on releasing any tension in your body. Each time you breathe in and breathe out, all tension, just imagine it drifting away. And then, after you've done your 10 deep breaths, just sit with your eyes closed and repeat the word release. That's it. Every so often, release, release, release. And you can do it in your mind. If you don't want to do it out loud, start out loud and then just do it in your mind again. And, just go on for 10 minutes. Even if you try this for 2 minutes, you'll be really surprised. If you've never done meditation before, do it for 2 minutes. See how you feel. You might go, oh my goodness, I've got to do this more often. I've met many people who've said that. So your intention is that every time you repeat the word release, you are releasing all thoughts, stress and tension in your life. Don't worry if thoughts come into your mind. You don't have to be perfect here. Just keep saying the word release and those thoughts will drift off again. They might come back and they'll drift off again. Just keep saying the word release in your mind. So, as I say, test this for just 2 minutes and see how you feel. You might be very surprised. So, ideally, meditate for 10 to 20 minutes daily and see how it feels. And after you find, wow, this is great, you might want to do that twice a day, morning and evening. I can't imagine how I would handle all the challenges of the day if it weren't for my daily meditation, in the morning particularly. And in the evening, you come in from work, you finish work, and you might have had a stressful day. Well, you need to do it again. Just let go of all of that. As I said earlier, relaxation and recharging is so important. And this allows us very easily. So, high performance habits, energy checklist. I'm going to show you 3 different columns. In fact, let's look at them. Well, before I do, 3 columns. I'm not saying to do every one of these things in every column, not at all. Pick a couple of these activities and test them, play with them for the next week or two and see how it affects your life. So, first of all, in the area of rest and exercise, walk outside every day for at least 30 minutes. Sleep 8 to 9 hours per night. If you miss that target, nap or meditate during the day to catch up. I'm not saying to do all of these. Pick one from each column and try it. Do 2 60-minute cardio activities per week. Consult your doctor if you're taking up any new health regimen or regime or whatever you call it. Anything to do with diet, nutrition, exercise. You've got to speak with your medical practitioner first to see if your body is currently capable of it or if it could be a risk. Do 2 20 to 40 minute intense workouts per week, strength-based or high intensity training. I hate it. I don't do it very often. Not HIT. I don't like it at all. Occasionally, but anyway, that's me. Meditate once or twice daily for 15 to 20 minutes ideally, or use a mind machine, like for example a light and sound device. I've demonstrated those so many times during these monthly live training sessions. So that's in the area of rest and exercise. Choose one of them for the next 2 weeks. Diet, and I'm not saying you have to, but I think you find that if you're already doing 1 or 2 of these, we'll take up another one. Just see what happens, okay? I'm a great believer in testing everything to see the effects, not just listen to someone and say, I'll believe what they say. No. Skeptically test it, see if it works for you. If it does, wow, you can benefit enormously. If it doesn't, chuck it, throw it away, don't do it, try something else. But I think you'll find that any of these will help you greatly. So in the area of diet and nutrition, eat a whole food diet, heavy in organic plant-based foods. Absolute must. Get tested for food allergies. Why? Because if your body's constantly fighting allergies, you're burning up a lot of energy unnecessarily. And if you have allergies and you find out what those allergies are and you avoid those allergens, you have more energy automatically because your body's not fighting and burning up energy. Really important. Very simple things, big effects. Take a food-based multivitamin and vitamin D. And also B complex, magnesium and omega-3. But once again, before you do that, you need to see your nutritionist for anything to do with health. I'm just saying that these are things you can consider, but I am not a nutritionist or a doctor, so you need to consult a health care practitioner before you do anything. Okay, anything I say, anyway. Drink health shakes for breakfast or snacks. Drink 3 to 5 litres of water per day and avoid all sugary drinks, alcohol and caffeine. I'm not saying you have to do this, just saying choose one of them for the next 2 weeks. And limit white starches and heavily processed breads and carbohydrates. So choose one from this, choose one from this, and one from the next column, which is daily energizing. Every 60 to 90 minutes, stand up, move and stretch. For example, you could do 20 arm crosses, okay? 20 arm circles, okay? What else? 40 knee-high kicks or marching in place, like sort of if you're in the military. 20 seconds of patting your lower back around the kidney area. That can energize you. 10 deep breaths while bouncing on your toes. Okay? Simple things that you can do. That'll only take 2 minutes. This is one of the exercises I was talking about earlier. Focus on speaking and gesturing with passion. Because as we've seen, that has massive effects on how you feel, how you show up in the world, and on your energy. Okay. Stay standing more often. A lot of people these days have desks that move up and down, and they can work while standing up, even on a treadmill in some cases. And then they can push the desk down and push the chair in and sit in front of the desk. I've often thought about getting one of those. Haven't done it yet, but you might consider that. Or stay standing more often. Hug and engage others physically more often. You might be a bit squeamish of hugging people, but when you hug people, there's an emotional, what would you say, exchange. And it makes you feel different. If it makes you feel uncomfortable at first, you might find after a while it feels really good. Or you might not want to do it at all. As I say, pick one of these from each column for the next 2 weeks. Try to make people smile or laugh more often. When you give, you get. When you try to make a positive influence on others, it always comes back. So it increases your energy when you're more giving. When you actively want to share joy, it gives you more joy and more energy. So try to make people smile or laugh more often, and focus on being fully present. Or are you worried about what you're going to say next when you're speaking with someone? Or is your mind on the future always, or the past? Try to be fully present. The more fully present we are, the more energy we have in the moment, right now. Okay. This is a really big one. Keep a gratitude journal. A lot of people do this and I wrote a book, it's a bestseller, it's called Unlock Gratitude Now, because it's fundamentally important. Living a life with gratitude, it affects everything. And all those years ago when I lost everything, I had a very successful business, I sold it to a multinational, I made bad investments, trusted the wrong people, and I lost everything. For several years it was living hell. But doing gratitude exercises changed all that. So you might want to do a Google search or go to my website. But if you do a Google search or a YouTube search for Crazy Gratitude Experiment, and you'll discover my own technique, which is really powerful. And I wrote a book based on it. And it changed everything. My life changed totally when I started doing gratitude practices. Gratitude journal, a lot of people do at the end of each day. Try to remember the things that they feel grateful for that happened during the day. It's kind of a way of making oneself feel grateful, and it works. But studies have found that it's best not to do it every night or every day. Do it maybe 3 times a week. If it becomes like ritualistic, it can actually become devoid of emotion. So maybe 3 or 4 times a week would be sufficient. But living with gratitude changes everything. So what did we cover today? We're at the end, and there's going to be live questions in a moment. I'm going to go back in front of my desktop computer and webcam, and you can ask me anything. So what did we cover today? First of all, how to master your body, and that by doing so you will master your life. Because energy is a vitally important topic for success, and we looked at the importance of life energy, or chi, or prana, or ki, as it's known in various parts of the Far East. We've seen how science has proved that these acupuncture points exist. Okay, and we looked at how the mind and body influence each other so powerfully. We looked at Edgar Cayce's care system of health, or CARE. We looked at the effects of food and exercise on your mind, and I shared with you 7 questions to ask yourself that can give you more energy. And also we looked at how your posture, your voice, and your gestures influence your energy. And we looked at meditation and how to combat stress and increase your feelings of well-being by using a simple meditation. And finally I gave you a checklist to optimize and maintain your energy. As I say, 3 columns, choose 1 from each for the next 2 weeks. See what happens. After 2 weeks, choose different ones or add to your list. Just see what happens. So the recommended resources, first of all, I mentioned this guy Edgar Cayce. Fascinating book about him and his life called The Story of Edgar Cayce. There is a River by Thomas Segru. book that, back in the 90s I read this. In fact, I had the audio book on cassette tape. I don't know if it's available anymore. I hope it is, because I'm here in recommended resources. But Exploring Vibrational Medicine by Richard Gerber, MD. Absolutely fascinating. If you want to know how, what would you say, Eastern medicine works and why it works, absolutely and utterly fascinating. And then this book by Dr. Candice Pert, Molecules of Emotion, how your emotions affect everything. And finally, High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. And I should have included my own book, The Most Powerful Goal Achievement System in the World, and Unlock Gratitude Now. But anyway, so I'm going to go in front of my computer, my desktop computer again, and ask me anything. I'm here for you. Take this opportunity to ask me a question. And if you're watching the replay, if you're not watching this live, if you're watching the replay, go to my website, shoot me a question there, or even put it in the chat on the page that you're watching this, whether that's Facebook or YouTube or wherever, because I broadcast simultaneously to several different platforms and networks. So ask me a question. I'm going to blank out this camera and this microphone just for a few seconds. The screen will go blank, but don't go away, because I'll be with you in 1 second.
Okay, I hope you found that very helpful. Hope you found that interesting. First thing I want to do is share these slides. Hang on a second. Just going to do a copy and paste job here. 1 second. So copy this. I'm going to paste it into the chat window. 1 sec. Paste it into the chat window. Here we go. Did that work? Yes. Yes, it did. It did. It's there. There's a clickable link there, probably on the right-hand side of the page. Or if you're on mobile, it might be underneath the video. I'm not sure. As I say, I broadcast simultaneously on various different networks. So I'm going to just also put at the top here, want to ask a question? Here we go. Simply use the chat box. Okay. So just looking at chat, looking at questions coming in here, and there are a few. Firstly, this first question is from Sue. Hello, Sue. And Sue says, I believe I've got bad posture because I slouch. Me too. Does this mean my posture is affecting the way I feel, or is the influence a bit more subtle than that? Also, will my mood really elevate when I change the way I carry myself? It sounds amazing that something so simple can have such a powerful effect. Yeah, it is amazing. But how we carry ourselves, how we gesture, how we use our body does affect our energy dramatically. You know, as you know, you can sort of an extreme example of someone who talks monotone and doesn't inflect their voice very much, and they hold themselves very tight. You know, you can pretty much tell that such a person would be very restrictive, very closed. You know, not a lot would happen in their life compared to someone dynamic and enthusiastic. That changes everything. That connects people powerfully with other people, and things can happen. Amazing synchronicities and coincidences happen as a result. But you know, at the end of the day, we all have bad posture to some extent, but it's what dominates over the long term that matters. What dominates over the long term is what really matters. And I think, you know, just checking your posture a few times each day, just asking yourself, maybe you have an alarm go off on your phone that says, what's your posture like? It just allows you to every so often reevaluate yourself and focus on that again. I have this thing, I don't really use it very often. It's called, what is it, posture corrector? You know, just this thing here. You put your arms through it and put it over your shoulders, and what it does is it pulls your shoulders back. because people who work in front of a computer, it's very, for me, I know I crane my neck forward, and I'm like that a lot. Even though I don't need to be, even though I got a nice, office chair or desk, I can work like that. And I use, just like you saw, the huge big monitor that I have one exactly the same as my computer monitor. It's huge. So I don't need to be craned over. I've got this big 5-foot uh, uh, computer monitor. It's actually a high definition TV or ultra high definition TV, which I use as my computer monitor. It's huge. It's great. So no excuse for being like this. But these things like posture correctors can definitely help. And once you get in the habit of checking your posture and correcting it, it then becomes a new habit, and you automatically move into that new posture, which is great. So, but it's what dominates over time that's important. Okay, so I hope that helps. Question from John. John says, Mike, I joined a little late, and I think you were talking about acupuncture and that it uses the body's energy system. Yep, that's right. I had several acupuncture treatments a few years ago, and they had absolutely no effect that I'm aware of. So I'm a bit skeptical. Are you saying we should use acupuncture to be a high performer and be more successful? No, not at all. Because you joined a little bit late, you may have missed a couple of things that I said, or maybe I didn't say them very clearly, but I'm just, using acupuncture as an example, that energy, prana, ki, or chi, as it's known, various parts of the Far East. It's like this, we live within a sea of energy. Everything is energy. That's fact. And this energy moves into our body and moves along pathways that we call meridians. If you go to an acupuncturist, yes, they'll stick needles in various places along the meridian, but I was just using that as an example of how energy affects physical well-being and health, and how we think also affects our physical well-being and health. The way we think affects our body, and how our body is, affects our mind. So if we think very negatively, it will affect our body in negative ways. If we treat our body very badly and eat really junk food, it will definitely affect our speed and agility of thought and make us very brain foggy. I mean, over the years, I've come to see how important, I've always been aware of it, but how extremely important agility of thought is. I mean, for me, hang on a second, just want to change the banner on the screens there. For me, speed of thought is everything. I do a lot of things to make sure my thinking is fast, accurate, and I have a lot of energy. So naturally, I have a lot of brain power. So whatever I can do to make this thing light up between my ears, I do. So it's become a bigger thing than any other form of exercise. I think people try to get themselves very healthy, and that's very important. But how often do we think about the health of our brain? How often do we want to get fit and all that, and that's very important. But how often do we think about the needs of the most important organ in our body, our brain? So for me, it just makes perfect sense that we should give most of our focus to making our brain operate as efficiently and effectively, and speed of thought. Because when you do that, obviously you're going to have to take better care of your nutrition and your physical exercise and supplements and all that. I take every morning. I get a thing called Athletic Greens. It's available here in Europe. I think it's now available in the US as well. And it's a powder. I take a scoop, I put it in a pint of water. I throw in all sorts of berries, raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, big handful of spinach and banana and a few other things, an avocado if there is one. And I blend it with a hand blender and I drink it. And that's my breakfast with a couple of other things. And, it's big, thick, gloopy, delicious smoothie. And it lasts me a few hours. So I'm working the first few hours of the day. But It has great effects on the brain and your energy levels, and that's why I take it. And it tastes delicious, even just on its own, the powder with water, it's delicious, and there's no, there are no, all the sweeteners. It's completely natural. It's completely natural, and literally, it has every superfood you can imagine. I remember when I started taking it first, I just was looking at the guidelines. It said, look, get your blood tested before you take this stuff and get it tested 6 months later. And I did that. And, the doctor gave me my first results. They were a bit up and down, there's different levels. After 6 months, or maybe a year, I got my blood tested again. And the doctor phoned me and he said, oh, I got your blood test results. And you go, yes. And he said, they're the most boring blood results I've ever seen in my life. I said, really? Well, what do you mean? Is that good or bad? And he said, perfect. He said, everything is perfect, exactly the levels that they should be. So this thing works. I'm a firm believer, or well, it's fact. Your body works when you give it what it needs. So brain nutrition is really important. And just look at your question there again, John. Yeah, about the energy system and how the mind and body affect each other, and our thoughts and our food and our emotions. Very important stuff. Another question here. This is a question from Frank. Frank says, isn't meditation an Eastern religious practice? Is it possible to contact negative forces through meditation? Think about this. Having more compassion, more energy, more courage, more wisdom, a more relaxed mindset. Those are all pretty positive qualities as far as I can see. Nothing negative there. And you look, meditation isn't a state that you don't normally experience ever in your life. Whenever you're in a very relaxed, focused state, you're literally in a meditative state. So this is something, if you've never meditated before, this is something that you have touched into, you have experienced at some point in your life to some degree. So different meditations have different effects, but I've never heard of any form of meditation that is harmful. There have been huge studies, scientific studies into this stuff. This stuff works. It has massive benefits. So, I think, well, this release meditation that I shared, it's so safe. You're just you're just asking your own mind to relax and to release. It's very simple. You have complete control over that. And, you're not going off into a crazy mind state that you can't get out of. And a lot of people think that about hypnosis as well. Oh, no. Hypnosis, we've all experienced a hypnotic state. It's a state of deep, focused relaxation. You can pull yourself out of it like that. So there's so much fear and so much misinformation out there, and so much confusion and lack of understanding. You test these things. Just test them a little bit, see what happens. But meditation is incredibly beneficial. And, as I say, it's just simply a way to quiet your mind and recharge. But the benefits are enormous, and it's very safe. So I hope that helps. Another question here. Questions are coming in from different places, Facebook and YouTube, and so I'm just sort of keeping an eye on a few of them here. This question from Claire. I love the high performance section you teach us every month. And I have had massive improvements in several areas of my life since I started using them. Every month you're teaching us more great stuff, and I'm worried that I might have too many new things to add to my daily routine. Is it important to do everything, or can I just choose the tools that are most relevant to my life right now? Definitely the things that are most relevant to right now. For example, I do the energization breaks every 90 minutes. And they give me a lot more energy and focus than I had before. So that's really helped me transform some pretty big things in my life. That's great. Well done. But how often do I need to ask myself the different high performance questions? Do I just use what's most relevant to me right now? Or should I just do each of them every so often? Thanks so much. I think, what obviously 90% of what we do should be focused on the now, what we're dealing with right now. But every month I just give you, so it shouldn't be overwhelming, because if I share new questions with you, just do them. Just do them once. Do them once. It'll allow you to reevaluate yourself where you are right now. And next month you'll have progressed a bit more, and I'll have a new set of questions that you can ask yourself to reevaluate certain things. So it shouldn't be in any way overwhelming. The purpose of high performance habits is to reduce stress, to give you more aliveness and more joy. So, if there's certain things that you don't want to do, don't do them. Like I showed you that chart today of 3 different columns, and I said, do one from each, So doing certain high performance habits is much better than not doing any. Just do a few here, a few there, as you need. But you can, I think, like in anything, there's beginners and there's mastery. Depends how far you want to go, and it's down to really how big are your goals, how passionate are you about creating an amazing life for yourself and your family. If you're really enthused about that and really committed, then maybe you should use most of these habits, because I don't teach them just for the fun of it. I share them because they absolutely work. So I hope that helps. Let me just see any more. I think that's it. I think that's the last one. Yeah, that's it. Great. Wonderful. So thanks so much for joining me today. I'll be with you again next month. I hope you benefited. And there will be the replay. I will be uploading it at some point over the next few days. And you can rewatch this, or if you only got the tail end, you can watch the whole thing. It will be there on YouTube and Facebook and in our members area on my website. So thanks so much for joining me, and stay safe, and be with you next.